college football playoff before we open the floor for questions.
Yeah, obviously this is an awesome opportunity, the first Power 5 to break through the college football playoff. We're just excited to get to the 31st and play some football.
Our first question comes from Gary Miller.
Sorry, I had to unmute. Dylan, your impressions of AT&T Stadium, what it's like to step on a field where they've had Super Bowls, and how you guys reacted to being on there.
Yeah, that was it was pretty cool walking through that tunnel. We came here for the Cowboys game last night. We were sitting in the nosebleeds, and it was still awesome to see everything. Awesome to see the crowd go crazy. Really excited to see that in the 31st.
Our next question comes from Chris Vanini.
Yeah, you guys are obviously the big underdog coming into this game. I'm curious if that motivates you at all, if you guys feel like you need to prove yourselves a little bit on this stage for the first time.
Not really. We're just kind of focused on being on us. We've heard a lot about this David versus Goliath talk, but the fact of the matter is everybody puts their pants on the same way. Everybody plays a game of football, so we just want to go out and be us.
Again, if you have a question for offensive lineman Dylan, please raise your hand. This time we'll go to Zachary Braziller.
When you look at your running back, he obviously comes from Alabama. He was there 2 years. How motivated do you think he's going to be for this game?
Yeah, I'm sure Rome will be pretty motivated, but I think he's just going to go out and do his thing that he does on every Saturday. He's going to go run the ball, hit the holes, run hard.
Taking questions for Cincinnati offensive lineman Dylan O'Quinn. This time we'll take a question now from Katie Wyndham.
Hey, Dylan. It's Katie Wyndham with Bama Central. What have been your impressions on film of the Alabama defensive front, and what are the challenges of their pass rush with Will Anderson and guys like that?
Yeah, obviously it's Alabama. They're big, strong, physical. We'll have a challenge ahead of us, but we're up for it, and we're going to do our best to block their defensive line and get our running backs to the second level and keep our quarterback on his feet. And yeah.
Another question now from Chris Vanini.
Yeah, obviously Alabama's Will Anderson. He, has a record for tackles for loss, and they've gotten after the quarterback pretty well. What have you seen out of their pass rush and the challenge you guys face?
Well, I think they get up the field really well. I think they have some good pass rushers. They like to squeeze the pocket pretty well. So we're just going to have to take good sets and try and take care of them.
Any final questions for offensive lineman Dylan O'Quinn? Dylan, thanks for joining us. Best of luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Media stay with us momentarily. We'll be joined by wide receiver Alec Pierce. Once again, media, thanks for your patience. We're joined now by Cincinnati wide receiver Alec Pierce. Alec, if you would, please give us an opening statement about your excitement about playing in the college football playoff before we open the floor for questions.
Yeah, I'm super excited. It's a dream come true. I'm really excited to be here. It's a great venue. Cotton Bowl's had great hospitality so far, and just looking forward to this week.
All right, our first question comes from Mike Rodak.
Yeah, Alec, just what have you seen on film from Alabama's corners, both McKinstry and Armour Davis?
They're both good players. They both got good size, good length, can both run. So, it's just going to come down to making plays. It might not be as much separation as seen in the past, but it's going to come down to making plays.
Next question comes from Skylar Dixon.
Alec, you guys have had a little time to let it set in the major accomplishment that you've had here, and you're a significant underdog in the game. What's the mindset now that you're here and it's about time to put it on the field?
The mindset right now is just working this week, going over our normal routine, practicing for preparing for Alabama. So that's kind of what we're focused on right now. I know Coach Fick has said the morning's got to be, when we're practicing, that's got to be all Alabama, all focused on that. And then in the afternoons, we can have a little bit more fun and enjoy the bowl festivities, stuff like that.
Next question comes from Chad Brendel.
What's up, Alex? So take me through how much going against Ahmad Gardner every day has not only made you better, but made Ahmad better. I know we watch it in practice every day, but for maybe those that aren't familiar, just talk about the respect that you two have and how much you've elevated each other's game.
Yeah, for sure. He's a great player. I think he's probably the best press corner in the country. So, going against him every day is an unbelievable look. We get a ton of opportunities to make each other better and just work against each other and sharpen our craft.
Next question comes from Chris Vanini.
Yeah, Alec, the group of receivers you guys have in that room, not a lot of outspoken personalities or kind of divas or so to speak from a position that often does. Where does that culture come from with you guys?
I think it's just, the mentality in the room. Everyone, we have a saying, by any means necessary. It's basically just, whatever we got to do. If we got to go out there, run the ball 1,000 times and block all game, or throw the ball 100 times, that's what we're going to do to win. We just, at the end of the day, we want to win. So we'll really do whatever it takes, And that includes, contributing on special teams, a big emphasis, just things like that.
Next question comes from Zachary Brazilier.
Alec, how much have you guys talked about kind of the significance of being in this game, in terms of, obviously you're the first non-power school to get to the playoff, and, how you guys perform could determine the fate of others down the road.
Yeah, I don't think the significance for us is anything other than the significance of it being the college football playoffs. It's the biggest game of the year for us in that aspect, that we have a chance to advance on to the college football finals. So that is itself is a huge, enormous significance. And but other than that, I don't think we look into the outside factors.
Next question comes from Tony Suklis.
Yeah, Alec, there's been some other questions before this about Alabama's pass rush. Just does that put an extra pressure on the receivers to get open quicker, just given that, Desmond might not have as much time?
Yeah, I think, just going to have to be able to just try to get open as best we can, whether it be early or not. I don't know if we'll for me, I just control what I can control. I run my route the same way, whether I know we're going against a good pass rush or a team that's dropping 8. I just try to get as open as I can. So.
Another question from Chris Vanini.
I know you just said you don't feel like you need to do this on behalf of all Group of 5 teams, but being a 2-touchdown underdog in Vegas, something I'm sure you don't look at, but do you feel like you guys need to prove in this game that you belong here?
I don't think we need to do anything different to prove that we belong here. I think we just need to go out and play our game.
Any final questions for wide receiver Alec Pierce? Question from Zachary Brazilier. Go ahead, Zachary.
Alec, what do you think it just says about, your program and maybe the way you guys have operated, that you were the first team to break through, the first non-power 5 to make the playoff?
It means a lot. Coaches really bought in and got the players to buy in. It's been a long journey. I know a lot of us have been playing here for a while. A lot of guys with a lot of starts. So just kind of to see the program grow has been really cool to see.
Question now from Joseph Hoyt.
Hey, Alec, this is Joseph White from the Dallas Morning News. Desmond Ritter kind of just talked about, I asked him what the learning lessons you can take from Jerome Ford when it comes to Alabama, and if anything schematically or anything like that. And he really talked about, well, we learned about the culture that Alabama has and what they kind of bring. I guess just from your standpoint, what do you think Jerome Ford's experience, you know, at Alabama maybe can teach you guys about being in the stage in this game?
I agree with Des. I mean, I'm sure he, you know, Jerome's being there, he knows the culture, he knows how they work, and I know they're a really well-run program. So, yeah, I agree with what Des said.